What do you think about the chair? This guy.
Well,
You met him.
there's a few layers of the onion to unpeel here regarding the chair, and I'll say his name. And Frank Battaglia, you can sue me if you want. I'll say your name. You can sue me. And so this is me saying it, not the channel owner saying it. I like you, Frank. You're a good guy. I like your New York attitude, and you definitely got your issues. And you haven't made a lot of friends in the Philippines. You've made a few enemies. A few lawsuits, a few death threats, and you are an interesting character. And I don't know why you've made it so long here. You've been here, what, 6 or 7 years? Talking shit about everybody, all these different vloggers. I walked right up to your house, Frank. I mean, if you weren't this big bad dude like you say you are, and you know, you welcomed me in. I appreciate it. You welcomed my girlfriend in. Kind of made her a little uncomfortable.
Well, how did he make her uncomfortable?
Well, he was just staring at her, right with Gilda right next to us. Frank just kept staring over at my girlfriend.
Well, I mean, she's a nice looking girl.
Literally, like, jaw open, staring. And it was just weird, and like, you know, Gilda was right there, and
Gilda didn't see it?
she had to have, you know. But I think Gilda just, like, she's essentially been beaten down and defeated. And like, Gilda's a nice woman, and like, I got nothing against Gilda. She's actually a decent lady. I had a couple conversations with her off camera. Nothing wrong with her. Just a sweet lady. And you know, she's taking some heat for her association with Frank.
Right.
But it's the Frank Barry drama. It gets a little stale. I mean, I've met Frank, I met Barry, I met Ricky Drama, and when Ricky Drama brought them together at TGI Fridays, like,
that was a setup.
When I first saw that, I was on the edge of my seat, like, all right, they're gonna come to blows, and like, so anticlimactic. After that happened, I took a week off YouTube. I said, you know what, like that's just all bark, no bite.
Well, okay, but so why do you think Frank doesn't have any friends? I mean, I'm getting the gist that he doesn't have very many friends. He's always on YouTube, obviously. Probably, I don't know, what does he do, like 10 live streams a day? So why do you think he doesn't have friends?
Well, I think it goes back to the wheelchair girl, Nika. And I don't really know whether he was looking to date her or what was happening, but from what I understand is they met on a dating website, and then he went to meet her, and she shows up in a wheelchair, and so Frank kind of like maybe had a big heart and felt sorry for her and wanted to help her out, and wanted to help her out so much that he wanted to do a fundraiser for her. Well, most fundraisers in the Philippines, they go south real quick with direct accusations of stealing and pilfering from the money and donations. So I think Frank was naive in that regard, and he wasn't prepared for the troll reaction, and it just went from there, and he felt like he had to defend himself, or, you know, he's a New Yorker. He's not going to back down from what the trolls say. He's going to double down and go forward. And so they kind of went after him. Frank wouldn't back down. Trolls go after him further because it's YouTube and it's anonymous, and guys can just go at you super hard from they're behind their keyboards back in America. And Frank just fully embraced it, and he would not back down from it, and he felt he was in the right, and he was unjustly being accused. And Big E came out and sort of validated some of the things Frank said, where Nika in a wheelchair, this Filipino who's handicapped, like, she's outsmarting all these foreigners. Like, she's not poor. She took her family on vacations. She scammed Big E for thousands, scammed Frank for thousands. What a Holly, the girl that was involved in the fundraiser.
She was sending some money.
I mean, she's retarded. She's just a pill popper in America, and she doesn't have a passport. She's not coming to the Philippines, but she's one of those Americans who sees something and then donates money to it, and then feels like something happened, and then so she gets involved with it. The whole Riff Raff Radio crew kind of teamed up against Frank, and Frank, you know, he's not backing down. So both sides dug in their heels, and it just kind of went from there. And I think initially Frank didn't plan on being this YouTube pariah, wanting to just fight all day, having to watch this guy's channel to see if they're talking about him and watching this live stream. But that's what it came to, and I mean, you're talking 10 to 14 hours a day, 7 days a week. 6 years later, here we are.
Well, one of the problems Frank had is this group that he wanted to get in with, like, you know, Phelps, Allo, and all them guys, they just never accepted him, and he just couldn't handle that. He wanted to get into that group, but being that they never accepted him, that's where it all went, you know, it all went crazy with, you know what I mean?
Why would someone want to be a part of that group?
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Yeah, but in the beginning, Frank didn't really know much about these guys, and I didn't either, you know? I didn't either, so once I realized what kind of people that these guys were, then I distanced myself from them as well.
Yeah, and I think this goes back to his Hawaii and Seattle days, where he would get into online fights with people, whether it was on Facebook or writing letters to the editor. He'd read some article in a newspaper he didn't like. He'd write multiple letters off to the editor, and just, you know, he's a stubborn old man. He really is.
Any advice you'd give Frank before moving on to the next vlogger that we're going to talk about?
I mean, stop trying to sue people. All you're doing is paying Filipino lawyers. Like, with all the death threats and lawsuits and deportations, like, nothing's happened. So I guess that segues into the next vlogger that's involved in a lawsuit against Frank. Certain Barry Jordan in Mole Bowl. And I met Barry Jordan too. Good guy. Nice to party with, nice to hang out with. He's involved with the drama with Frank. Why is he lowering to that level? I'm not sure.
Well, from what I gather, to make super chat money, I just, that's, again, it's just my opinion. Fortunately, he's broke.
Barry would be a different person if he was getting more money. So the fact is, almost all of these vloggers are receiving a check from the government, whether it's disability, unemployment, military disability, or Social Security, and Barry's check is a lot smaller than other people's check. Whether Frank's getting $1,500 a month or $2,000 a month, I don't know. I'm not checking his wallet, but Barry's definitely not getting $1,500 a month. Probably $500 or $600 a month. And if you're only getting $500 or $600 a month, your life's not going to be too good in the Philippines. It's going to be better than it is back in Alabama. But at $500 or $600 a month, you're going to have to find ways to come up with a few hundred more dollars. And Frank's got a lot of enemies, so Barry pits himself on one side against Frank, and he's getting donations and super chat from the Frank haters.
Well, Barry's resilient though. I mean, he's been in the Philippines for, like, I think almost 7 years or something. No, actually, I think he came in 2050. Yeah, 7 years. So he's how he made it 7 years, I have no idea. I wouldn't even be able to explain it, but you got to give him that.
Yeah, and he's happy. He goes out, like, his neighbors like him. Like, when I was with him, like, store owners were friendly with him, joking, smiling. Hey Barry, see you later, Barry. Like, people like Barry. I mean, he's a friendly dude. If he had more money, he would probably be a slightly different person, but he's making do with what he's got. And I mean,
do you think Barry has taken advantage of some of these girls' previous relationships that he was in, like everybody says? Yes
and no. I mean, I think the trolls really have messed up some of his relationships. Like, I think Dimples had ulterior motives in that relationship that went south, and you know, and then I forget the girl's name in Romblon, but I think the trolls really started sending messages to her family on Facebook, and her sister's work was getting messages about Barry, and it's like, why are trolls that don't like Barry sending messages to his girlfriend's sister's boss? That's sick to me. Like, that's truly sick. So, you know, Barry is not, like, he's not adjusting his personality in a relationship. He puts himself out there, and the girl will need to adjust to Barry more.
Right.
And Filipinos are flexible. They can go back and forth on some of these issues, but eventually they say enough's enough. And, you know, he's been here 7 years. Not everybody's going to be in a relationship with one girl for 7 years. So if he's had 5, 6, 7, 8 girlfriends over 7 years, like, that's okay.
He's always got a girl though,
Yeah.
and he's getting laid all the time. A lot more than he would be getting laid in the U.S.
Yeah,
you know?
and like he's got some social skills where he can go up to a group of girls at a bar or girls
Yeah.
walking by and like make them laugh, talk to them, and you know, so he's not a 60-year-old 300-pound foreigner. Like, he's still slim and he's, you know, under 50, so he's got a couple things going for him. And his life here is going to be better than it is in America. So Peter Vandiver called it years ago that he said Barry's going to last here. Barry will make it here, and he, you know, he's not going to be renting a 40,000 peso a month condo and going island hopping and taking flights places and eating at fancy restaurants. But Barry's happy and he lives a good life. And I like Barry. I mean, I hung out with him 5 out of 7 days. I was in Mole Bowl. I went over there, did my activities in the morning, went over there, had some drinks, had dinner with him. He cooked a couple times. We went out to dinner a couple times. We drank at his place. We went to the bars. And yeah, it was, I mean, he's a cool guy. I like hanging out with him.
Well, what do you think? Is his girlfriend into him? Is she cool?
I really, truly believe Shaw's a good girl. And I think they can be together for a while. Like, I mean, there were a couple slight indicators that I noticed that I said, you know, Shaw's a good girl, and she truly loves Barry. And
yeah, I don't, you know, I know he's talking about getting married to her and stuff, but I think it's impossible for him to get married. I mean, I've been through the marriage process myself here in the Philippines, and there's a bunch of paperwork you got to do and stuff like that. And maybe he can. We don't know. Hey, the next guy I want to talk about. Let's see, who do we talk? We want to talk. There was a couple of more guys I wanted to talk about. How about the guy in Bohol? You met the guy in Bohol, right?
the hotel builder.
Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting guy as well, and I'm not a psychologist or psychiatrist. I have no formal training, but in the psychiatric field, they say one of the main things is you don't diagnose somebody without meeting them in person. It's called the Goodwin principle. And you know, people watch Fazio, they get their opinions of him, you know, what he is, what he's doing, and I wanted to meet the guy in person, so I drove over to his house. Hey, Fazio. He comes out, a little apprehensive at first, and comes out, and we had a good 30-minute conversation, and he kind of rehashed a lot of the things that he's rehashed on hundreds of hours of live streams through the years. And you know, we went our separate ways. I wish him the best. The hotel is not progressing at the speed and pace that I'm sure he hopes it is. Being as kind as I can to say that.
What do you mean by that?
Well, it's 7 years he's been building a hotel. It might be 7 more years, and the hotel may not get built.
Is it a big lot? Is it a big size lot that he's renting there?
I'd say the lot is 15 by 20 square meters, maybe 15 by 25. His domicile, if you will, is taking about a third of that, and then he's got a big backhoe that takes about another third of it.
Yeah, I saw some construction equipment.
And then the other third is basically like dilapidated construction equipment, metal roofing.
But is there like a foundation? Is there a hole dug or anything like that?
Not that I saw. It looked like
okay.
flat ground.
So then
there's not a lot of activity going on at the hotel right now.
What's he waiting for? Do you know, or is it just lack of funds to start the hotel project?
It's lack of funds.
Oh,
I mean, if he's gonna do it right and put, you know, tile flooring and all that, like, I'd be surprised if he finishes that hotel in his lifetime. It's gonna be a while.
Okay. So we'll leave it at that. Hopefully, we wish him good luck, and hopefully he'll get that hotel finished. And start, you know, renting out some rooms and making a few bucks, you know.
Yeah.
And one other guy I want to talk about, Big Shot Travel. You met him, right?
I did. I like Big Shot Travel, and he's Big Shot Travel, Fazio, Frank, Barry. You guys are all invited to my condo in Cebu for Thanksgiving. I hope you all show up. We're gonna have turkey, cranberry, stuffing, mashed potatoes and gravy, green beans, maybe even have some wine.
Damn,
beer.
it works.
And I'll mediate it. I'll be in between everybody, make sure there's no fighting or anything happening. I like Big Shot. I met him at Bamboozers in Cebu. He was live streaming, and his came up on my feed, and I called my girl. I said, jump on the bike, let's go. Walked in there. I'm a big fan of Big Shot Travel. I think he's one of the only mongers in the Philippines that has no qualms with putting himself out there, face on video, talking trash to other vloggers, starting drama, getting involved with lawsuits, and he kind of puts his money where his mouth is. And he's not on a budget. He does have the money that he's saying. That's absolutely true. I've witnessed it firsthand. He's shown me documented proof of it, and he's having a great time. He says he spent the last few years living in hotels. He hasn't cooked a single meal, eats out every night, goes to the bars, travels the world, Europe, Thailand, America, Philippines, meeting guys, talking trash with other guys, and his offline personality is slightly different than his live streaming personality, but that could be said about anybody. That's no great surprise. I mean, everybody's a little different off camera than they are on camera. But in general, he's a solid dude, and I'd party with him anytime. I mean, I like the guy. I got nothing. I'm not saying anything bad about Ricky Drama.
Cool.
I like the guy.
Were you surprised though when he was in that Ladyboy bar and started making out with the Ladyboy?
Yeah, Ricky, you disappointed me a little bit there. I mean, as the French say, chacun son goût. To each their own taste. That's what you like, that's what you like. You're still welcome to my condo for Thanksgiving. I wouldn't go into any Ladyboy bars with you if that's what you're looking to bar hop at those places. But as you will. I let you do your own thing. This is 2022, and if that's what you like, that's what you like.
Go ahead.
I'm hoping you were just really drunk that night, and it was a mistake. But if that's what you like, that's what you like. I mean, who am I to judge? So
cool.
But yeah, Ricky Drama's cool. Him and Fazio got into it, and now Ricky Drama and Frank are into it. And Frank and Fazio are into it, and it seems like Barry's kind of in it with them all, which is, I guess he's not no true animosity to Ricky.
He's kind of caught in the middle of all.
Yeah, and it's YouTube drama. I mean, my job back in America, I was putting in long hours, and I had to be at work, but I wasn't busy at work. A lot of times I was in the office monitoring cameras or dispatching. So on a 14-hour shift, I mean, I'm at work at the office for 14 hours, but I had 10 hours of downtime where I should have been more productive learning a language or something, or, you know, exercising, but I was on YouTube watching videos, and you get sucked into the drama. And I knew I wanted to go to the Philippines, so I started watching, you know, probably half the time I'm watching Philippines videos on YouTube, the other half a dozen other topics, from politics to sports to whatever on YouTube. But good 4 or 5 hours a day at work, I would watch YouTube drama.
Okay, cool. Just
on the clock, making money while I'm watching YouTube drama.
Well, yeah, you have to make money. If you just bringing this to a close, any other trolls that you think are clowns that you really want to say anything here about any other trolls that are on the well, not troll, well, yeah, anybody that you want to just say anything to here while we bring this video to a close or anything?
Yeah, I really dislike some of the younger scammers on here, specifically military disability scammers. Like if you're in your 30s or 40s and you're receiving a disability pension and you have 10 fingers and 10 toes and you're capable of operating a YouTube channel and driving a motorcycle and walking in public, like, to me, you're not disabled. Like, get off the government dole, get off my tax-paying dollars, go back to America and get a job. Yeah, there's a few guys here. There's one guy who thinks he's some thug in California, all tatted up, doing mixed martial arts training. The Flipper. He's, you know, the billionaire eBayer.
Oh, the Bitcoin guy.
No, he selling stuff on eBay. MJ the Flipper.
Oh, the Flipper.
Yeah.
That guy.
I don't think that guy can fight his way out of a wet paper bag. And if you think you can, MJ, come find me. I'll let you know right away.
Oh, shit.
So, that guy ran like a coward from Dumageddon when I told him I was coming here. So, there's a few other guys.
Were you here when he was in Dumageddon?
Back in June, I was.
That's right, you were.
Called him out, and he disappeared. And
well, you came to? Did you come into Dumageddon?
Not specifically for him, but I was here, and I had to let him know where I was staying and let him know what's up, and he backed down. And kind of now he's off YouTube. So
wow.
But not everybody's a troll. Not everybody I follow. Like I went and met Texas Filipino in Iloilo a couple weeks ago. Solid guy, great guy, great businessman, building a nice house. He's not involved with the drama. He stays away from the trolls. Just a regular family guy. Got a great wife and doing his own thing. Another guy in Bohol, Ron Dill from Bill's Adventure. He's just great, normal guy, very small YouTuber, and I hope to spend Christmas with him. I've met a couple other guys in Cebu that just, you know, not involved with the drama, good guys.
Cool.
But yeah, you know, I do get sucked into the drama, and it is what it is, and I like to meet these guys in person and kind of assess them, see what they're worth, and
Would you meet any of the Riff Raff Radio guys in person?
Oh yeah, I'm sure they'd be puppy dogs when they meet me. They wouldn't do a damn thing, and that's the whole lot of them. And that old man in Florida who hasn't been to the Philippines in 30 plus years, and
oh the what do you call it? The MP?
the seaman.
Oh, the seaman guy. Right.
Shore Patrol.
Shore Patrol dude. Ah, that guy. Yeah, I thought he was a cook. For some reason, I thought he was a cook.
I heard he was an assistant cook.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that dude, yeah. He'll never come back to the Philippines.
Nope, he doesn't have the money.
Yeah, he ain't got that.
Can't.
I think he's waiting for his third check.
Yeah,
to be able to come, but I don't think he's coming.
I heard the Midnight Ramblers closed down there, so you're not coming back to the Midnight Rambler, reliving those days. And from what I understand, you weren't even allowed inside the Midnight Rambler as Shore Patrol. You would patrol outside of it, and then watch the guys coming in and out, and probably getting jealous.
Wow.
Missing those old Subic days.
Yeah, he talks about them old, well, that's all he talks about is the old days. I've never heard anyone talk about the past like this guy does. Because you can't really change the past. The past is the past. The only thing you have control over is the present or the future. But he always talks about the past. Damn, it's amazing. Wow, yeah, I mean, you know, there's a few other them Riff Raff guys. I think one's coming. One is supposed to come. He's from Leyte.
Okay.
He's coming. You know which one I'm talking about, right?
Big old fat guy. And then
he's got a bypass surgery, so he's skinny now. Okay. He's half the man that he used to be. But apparently he's coming out.
Yeah.
He's got a taco truck. The guy with the taco truck.
Yeah, come find me. You know, I'm easy to find.
All right. Keep in mind, this is for entertainment purposes. Anybody that's watching this video, don't take this serious. All right, any parting words to anybody before I bring this video to an end?
I'll take it out Peter Vandiver style. See ya!
Well, Pete, yeah, we had to throw you in there somehow. I think he's doing okay. He's back in the States from what I heard. Don't know, I think he bought a car. He's always got camera gear and stuff like that, so he's getting some money somewhere. But anyway, Pete is Pete. All right, hey, Thanks for the interview. I really appreciate it. And guys, again, this is for entertainment purposes. We'll talk to you later.
See ya!